Hello, and we're back to discuss Jerusalem. And let me just activate the slideshow, which is not activated. Oh, here it is. So here you see the picture is the landscape of Jerusalem, and if you can see the Golden Dome is very visible in the landscape of the city. This is the Dome of the Rock, and we of course will discuss this dome in details throughout the year. Um, So now we say Jerusalem is a holy city. It's a sacred place. And Jerusalem is holy for Jews, for Christians, for Muslims. In the bottom picture that you can see, this is the image of how the Jerusalem temple used to look like. And this was the most sacred place for Judaism, a place where God was worshipped or in a physical location. And Jerusalem is also holy for Christians because of Jesus. This is where he walked. This is where he's preached, and this is where he was crucified. Was he was buried and went to heaven. These most important events of Jesus' life has taken place in Jerusalem, in the temple. And this is also a holy city for Muslims. As you can see, the upper picture, it is the Golden Dome, the Dome of the Rock, which is the third holiest site for Islam after Mecca and Medina. So Jerusalem is arguably the holy city for all three religions. Um, Christianity later adopted also Rome as a holy place. Islam adopted Mecca and Medina as a holy place. But still the sanctity of Jerusalem remained. And this is the origin of monotheism, of monotheistic faith is coming from Jerusalem. Um, what makes it holy? It is the place where God that lives in heaven had a physical place on earth. And this was the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. This was a place where he dwelled physically on earth, at least according to the Jewish traditions, and Christian and Islamic traditions do not contradict that as they follow that. So Jerusalem was some kind of, I would say, it was like like a gate, like a door, in which human humans can, get to a physical place where they can be in the presence of God. And this makes what makes Jerusalem holy. So, what makes a place holy? So, what makes a place holy? First, I said mythology. So, our mythology, our sacred books, the Bible, the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Quran, they are all mythological texts. They give us the story of the gods and how they rule the world and how they created the world and how they run the world and what is important and what's not important. And a holy place is a place that represents God's presence. So there are many holy places around the world. Um, there is Rome, the Vatican in Rome. There is Mecca and Medina that we mentioned earlier, Saudi Arabia. There are mountains like Mount Kilimanjaro, it's a holy place. There are, I'm trying to think of other locations. Uh, there are all over Europe, there are locations where people come to conduct pilgrimage, where they come and physically stand, walk, and touch a holy place. And that holy place is a place where God expresses his presence. Yes, God was present there. God is still present there. So people come to a holy place in order to be close to God. And this closeness to God creates a religious experience. What is this experience? It's hard to say it in words. It is an experience of, call it AWE. It's an experience of greatness that you are standing next to. And the Bible actually gives us, the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, gives us an example of a holy place. The first mentioned holy place, I guess, before Jerusalem, and it is in the place called Bethel. And this is, I'm going to read now a text from Genesis 28, verses 10 to 22. It is about Jacob's dream. I'm going to read it and then talk a little bit about it, and then we can figure what is a holy place. So I'm starting to read. Jacob left Beersheba and went toward Haran. He came to a certain place and stayed there for a night, because the sun was at set. Taking one of the stones of that place, he put it under his head and lay down in that place. And he dreamed, and there was a ladder set up on the earth, the top of it reaching the heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. And the Lord stood beside him and said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham, your father, and the God of Isaac. The land of which you lie, I will give it to you, to your offsprings, and your offspring shall be like the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad and to the west and to the east and to the north and to the south. All the families of the earth shall be blessed in you and in your offsprings. Know that I am with you, and I will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I had done what I have promised you. Then Jacob woke from his sleep and said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. And he was afraid, and he said, How awesome is that place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is a gate of heaven. So Jacob rose easily in the morning, and he took the stone he had put under his head, and set it up as a pillar, and put oil on the top of it, and he called that place Bethel. But the name of the city was Luz at first. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, If God will be with me, and will keep me in the way that I go, and will give me the bread to eat and clothes to wear, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God. And this stone which I have set up for a pillar shall be God's house. And of all that you give me, I will surely give 1/10 to you. So there are all kinds of aspects to this story, and I'm not going to talk about all of them. So but our concentration now is about sacred places, a holy place. And we know now from this story that Bethel was a holy place. And Jacob had a dream. He fell asleep. He slept. He saw angels coming and going up and down. God spoke to him, gave him all kinds of promises, blessings. And then Jacob have said, How awesome is this place! This is no other than the house of God, and this is a gate of heaven. So this basically tells us what is a sacred place. It is a place that is awesome. Awesome means there's God's presence in it, and it's very scary, but it's also very great, and it's very intriguing, and it's very unique because God is there. Yes, this is the house of God. God is present there, and and this is a gate to heaven. It means there's a door there. Yeah, there's a gate. There's like a rolling door. Yes, You get in, you get out, you open it, you close it. This is what makes it a holy place. It is a place where God resides. It's very unique, it's very scary, it's very special, and it contains a gate where heaven and earth meet. And so Jacob had this experience in Bethel. So Bethel was the gate. Bethel actually is not so far away from Jerusalem. It's only something like 20 miles away from Jerusalem. But later on, it was established in the Jewish tradition that Jerusalem is that place. This is the gate. This is the place where God lives. This is the place where God is physically present. And this is what have made Jerusalem to be a holy place. And this holiness was acknowledged also by not by Jews who made it the capital and the place of worship of God. This is not just a place where monotheism, the belief in one God, was established and became the religion of the world. You know, everyone around the world almost today worship the one Almighty God. Yes, but this is also became a holy and special place for Christians, which is the largest religion in the world, and for Muslims, the second largest religion in the world. So when you put all of this together, you see that Jerusalem is really an exceptional place for all monotheistic believers. And this is what makes it so unique. This is a place that has God's presence in it. At least this is what people believe. And thus it makes it so special. It makes it so powerful. And in our class, we will also realize that this is what makes it so contentious. This is why all these religions, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, have been fighting one another over the control of Jerusalem because it's so special, because it's so unique. All these three religions have been fighting and killing. There's a lot of turmoil that is connected with the sacredness of Jerusalem. But this is for a different lecture. Okay, this is the end.